Good morning and welcome back. Welcome back to our third Open Networking Summit. I hope you are having a good ONS. So let me get you started with some highlights. So I thought I will share some highlights from yesterday and then would love to hear from you your highlights as well during the day. So the first, Windsurf. So of course, he shared a lot of wisdom and lessons learned from last 40 years and how we can learn and we can apply some of this to SDN. But he said something that went unnoticed, I thought, and that is he said Google is now using OpenFlow SDN inside the data centers. Now, last year Urs gave a keynote talk and said that Google is using SDN to interconnect their data centers. And we suspected that Google is using OpenFlow and SDN inside data center. But yesterday was the first day or first time in a public setting, Google acknowledged that they're using OpenFlow and SDN inside the data center. And I was surprised that that went unnoticed, and this is the big news, and it has not yet become a news. Okay, so that was, I thought, interesting. Another thing that I thought highlight from my point of view is there were a number of if you go to the exhibit floor, you will see a number of very, very interesting exhibits that are demonstrating technologies as well as some use cases. And when you look at this technology, they are all across the SDN stack, all the way from, for example, Centec is doing OpenFlow optimized optimized chip, and around that building a switch. Then Big Switch did Switch Lite, that is the switch library. You can take whatever a white box and turn that into a very good OpenFlow enabled box. So that is something, a big deal. Then of course different types of controllers, different types of switches for different segments, all the way from enterprise to top of the rack to service provider and optical transport switches. That was very good. And finally, we are also starting to see some very good applications and use cases, and they are all the way from security to virtualization to traffic engineering and in all different domains. And in today's keynote talks, we are going to see some of those apps and use cases as well. So that is a good trend. Research track, that was another highlight in my opinion, in the sense that we were doing an experiment to bring latest research into ONS so that the industry and academia can interact together. And number of people yesterday told me that that was so invaluable, that in networking that has not happened before. All the conferences are getting more and more separated. So ONS bringing the research and the industry together, that was very important. And then there are research in different aspects of SDN, all the way from scaling SDN to programming, debugging, applying SDN to layer 4 through 7. So very, very interesting research agenda that is taking shape. Okay, now there was a session about open source and open SDN. Again, I think open source SDN is great. I think that is the right thing to happen. Of course, it should be done right. Inder gave a very good talk on daylight, but he obviously painted a very rosy picture. He kind of didn't talk about some of the challenges and so on. And one thing he said that was very interesting to me. He said, Open Daylight is the first open source project where so many big companies are coming together to launch it. I thought, is it a strength or is it a weakness? Because every time an open source project has been successful, it starts with a small code base, small architects, developer community, it starts to have a users, and then it builds on it. That is a typical recipe for an open source project. But anyway, I think I am still optimistic. Let's hope Open Daylight is successful in accomplishing what it means to. That will be very good for SDN. Okay, I should tell you two more things that I'm kind of a little bit disappointed, that we need to see more of SDN deployment stories. And that would be really good. We saw some of it, but not as much. On the other hand, yesterday was a little bit more vendor-specific sessions. Today, we are going to hear a lot more from Google, NTT Communications, Deutsche Telekom, eBay, Fidelity, Goldman Sachs. So all of these people are going to talk about how they are using SDN. So hopefully today we will feel better about that. And then I think developers, we still need to do more to bring developers to Open Networking Summit and have developers do something interesting at the summit. I think the developer tracks yesterday, I would say they were okay. They were more talking rather than developers doing something interesting. So I'm just doing some self-evaluation and saying we need to do more. Yesterday I talked about SDN washing, and today I want to tell you about one more thing that I'm concerned about, and then I will get to the keynote talks. I hope I don't take too much time. And so what I want to do is say that SDN approach that tries to preserve legacy is counterproductive. And it seems too good to be true sometimes, and let me tell you what I mean by that. So what I'm hearing is some of the vendors are promoting this idea that you can take your existing boxes, these are vertically integrated proprietary complex boxes, and we know that inside this there is heavyweight silicon, network router operating system and all of that, millions and millions of lines of code, lot of proprietary stuff that goes into it. Then they say, okay, we will layer on top of that SDN, we will give you like an OpenFlow interface, we will give you a vendor specific interface. Every vendor has some favorite interface that they want to put on top of this. Then you build a controller, and then they talk about building some applications. And then the claimed advantage is this allows customer to realize SDN on their existing infrastructure, and it allows vendor to build SDN on their existing boxes. At some level it seems pretty good, right? You can have your existing infrastructure, existing boxes and do SDN. So the question is, what is wrong? I think what is wrong is that everything is wrong because it compromises the basic SDN. Okay? Let me explain what I mean by that. Okay? So if you imagine this particular thing, the most important thing is the forwarding state. The forwarding state in the box is what decides how you forward packets as they are coming in. Now in this model, what happens is there are many masters that are trying to control this forwarding state and manipulate this forwarding state. So the first one is all the distributed protocols that are embedded into the boxes that are trying to manipulate and manage the state. Then if you have OpenFlow there, OpenFlow is trying to manage this particular state. Then if you have a vendor specific protocol that is trying to manipulate this forwarding state and decide what to do with it. So under this case, how do you build a consistent network map that you can offer to the applications, and how do then you program these applications on top of that inconsistent network map? So there is a significant challenge, and so then if you ask the question, so the bottom line is these two control planes, I mean we know that the original control plane is broken, it does not give you what you want. Now you add another control plane on top of it, you have multiple masters that are trying to manage how to do packet forwarding. Can we get this right? Are we simplifying it, or are we making life much harder? So if you look at what is this, right? One of the value proposition of SDN is to enable innovations through programming. If you make this thing so complex, are you really making it easier to innovate? I doubt it. Then accelerate new revenue generating services for network operators and owners. If you make this model so complicated, right, can you really write these applications, or only vendors can write the applications that can you bring? And then the current model continues, that vendors are the only ones that can write interesting applications, and writing other applications become much harder for other people. Are you reducing capex and opex with this model? You take all these complex boxes where you are paying 60 and 70% margins. On top of that, you add another layer of software. Do you think it is going to cost less for the customers? You think opex is going to go down with this? So I think this is something we should carefully think through if we are really going to make SDN successful.